Lecture 48. Weird and wonderful plants from around the world mysterious, ambient music plays softly welcome, curious minds, to a realm where reality exceeds imagination, where evolution has crafted enigmas beyond our wildest dreams. I am your guide through the shadowy corners of botanical wonder, where plants defy our understanding and challenge our perceptions of what living things can be. Today, we venture into the mysterious world of Earth's most bewildering botanical marvels, the weird and wonderful plants that haunt the remote corners of our planet. What makes a plant weird, you might ask? Is it the haunting shapes that whisper of alien worlds, the baffling behaviors that suggest an intelligence we've yet to comprehend? Or perhaps the evolutionary pathways so divergent from our own that they seem to belong to another timeline entirely? The truth is far more enchanting. These botanical oddities have evolved in isolation, in extreme environments, and under selective pressures that have twisted the very fabric of plant existence into forms both beautiful and unsettling. Our journey today will traverse the globe, from the misty mountains of the Philippines to the parched deserts of Namibia, from the impenetrable jungles of Madagascar to the isolated island of Socotra, where time itself seems to have forgotten these living relics. Each location on this map marks a confluence of isolation, extreme conditions, and evolutionary time, the perfect cauldron for brewing botanical wonders that defy explanation. We begin our odyssey with perhaps the most perplexing of plant behaviors: predation. Yes, in a twist of evolutionary fate, some plants have become the hunters rather than the hunted. Carnivorous plants emerge like phantoms in the botanical world, inverting the natural order in places where nutrients are scarce, but prey is plentiful. Their methods are as diverse as they are diabolical. Consider the Venus flytrap, Dionea muscipula, a botanical enigma whose snap trap mechanism operates with such precision that it seems almost conscious. Native only to a small region of North and South Carolina, this living trap counts the touches upon its sensitive trigger hairs. One touch, nothing happens. A second touch within roughly 20 seconds, and the trap snaps shut with such speed that prey has no chance of escape. But the mystery deepens. The trap doesn't merely close, it transforms, becoming a temporary stomach, secreting digestive enzymes that dissolve its victim from within, absorbing the nutrients through specialized glands. All this from a being without a brain, without nerves, without consciousness as we understand it. Perhaps even more sinister are the pitcher plants, those silent sentinels whose modified leaves form deep wells of doom. The Nepenthes genus, haunting the misty forests of Southeast Asia, creates vessels adorned with nectar-laden lips that beckon insects toward their demise. Once an insect ventures too far, downward-pointing hairs ensure there's no return journey. They slip into a pool of digestive fluid that may take weeks to break down their bodies. Some species, like Nepenthes raja, grow large enough to digest small vertebrates, containing pools that could drown a rat. The sundews weave a different kind of enchantment, their leaves adorned with glistening droplets that appear as morning dew but hide a darker purpose. Each droplet is a sticky glue that ensnares insects, while tentacle-like structures slowly curl around the struggling prey in a glacial embrace of death. And beneath the waters lurk the bladderworts utricularia, possessing the fastest trapping mechanism in the plant kingdom. Their underwater bladders create a partial vacuum, and when prey triggers the trapdoor, the victim is sucked inside in less than a millisecond faster than the human eye can perceive. It is a phantom strike from a phantom plant. From predators, we turn to survivors' botanical entities that exist in defiance of time itself. The Welwitschia mirabilis stands as perhaps the most baffling plant on Earth, a living fossil of the Namib Desert, with specimens estimated to be over 2,000 years old. This plant appears as if it were designed by a cosmic trickster. It produces only 2 leaves in its entire lifetime, 2 leaves that never stop growing, that split and fray and curl along the desert floor for centuries, creating the illusion of many leaves where there are only 2. Its existence is a riddle wrapped in the harsh embrace of one of Earth's most unforgiving deserts. The ancient baobabs of Africa and Madagascar stand as sentinels of time, their swollen trunks storing thousands of liters of water to endure droughts that would annihilate lesser plants. Some specimens have weathered the centuries for over 2,000 years, bearing silent witness to the rise and fall of human civilizations. Even more perplexing are the resurrection plants' botanical phoenixes that can lose up to 95% of their cellular water, appearing completely dead and desiccated for years, only to unfurl and return to vibrant life within hours of rainfall. The rose of Jericho, Selaginella lepidophylla, has been known to survive over a decade in this suspended animation between life and death. The extremes of our planet harbor plant adaptations that defy reason. In the boiling hot springs of Yellowstone, thermophilic algae thrive in waters that would cook human flesh from bone. In the salt pans of Bolivia, halophytes extract fresh water from crystalline salt flats that appear as endless mirrors. In the oxygen-poor heights of the Himalayas, plants have developed cellular mechanisms that would let them survive on Mars. Each extreme environment has become a laboratory for botanical innovation, forcing evolution to solve problems we've only recently tackled with our most advanced technologies. The mysteries of plant reproduction yield some of the most captivating botanical enigmas. The Titan arum, Amorphophallus titanum, stands as nature's grand paradox, a flower of breathtaking size and appalling odor. This corpse flower blooms rarely, perhaps once a decade, unfurling a massive inflorescence that can reach 3 meters in height. It then proceeds to heat itself to human body temperature while releasing the stench of rotting flesh, a macabre performance designed to attract carrion beetles and flies as pollinators. The entire spectacle lasts but a day or two before the massive structure collapses, not to appear again for years. The orchid family has perfected deception as an art form. Consider the bucket orchids of Central America, which have evolved a complex trap and release system involving narcotic compounds, slippery surfaces, and a precisely timed mechanism that glues pollen packets to specific bees. Even more beguiling are the mirror orchids that have evolved to mimic the appearance, texture, and even the pheromone scent of specific female wasps and bees. Male insects attempt to mate with the flower, becoming unwitting couriers of pollen in what may be the most elaborate reproductive deception in nature. The methods of seed dispersal reveal botanical ingenuity that borders on the fantastical. The sandbox tree, Hura crepitans, has earned the name dynamite tree for its explosive seed dispersal. When its seed pods dry, they burst with such violence that seeds are hurled at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour, and distances of up to 100 meters. The touch-me-not plant impatiens has evolved seed pods under such tension that the slightest touch sends seeds catapulting into the air. The squirting cucumber builds fluid pressure within its fruits until they detach from the stem and eject seeds in a pressurized stream of bitter fluid that can travel up to 40 feet. Our journey now takes us to places where plants seem to have emerged from dreams rather than evolution. The dragon blood trees of Socotra Island stand like inverted umbrellas against the sky, their alien silhouettes creating landscapes that seem transplanted from another world. These ancient relatives of lilies grow in shapes found nowhere else on Earth, with dense canopies that provide their own shade in the harsh island conditions. When cut, they ooze a deep red resin, the dragon's blood, that has been harvested for medicines, dyes, and incense since ancient times. The ultimate masters of disguise lurk in the deserts of South Africa and Namibia. The lithops' living stones have evolved to mimic the exact coloration and texture of the rocks among which they grow. Their camouflage is so perfect that botanists often can only find them when they flower, briefly betraying their botanical nature with delicate blooms that emerge from what appears to be a split in a rock. These plants have reduced themselves to little more than 2 fused, succulent leaves with a hidden meristem, sacrificing traditional plant form for a deception so complete that they disappear into their landscape. Our minds are wired to find faces, and the plant kingdom obliges with specimens that trigger our sense of pareidolia in the most uncanny ways. The monkey face orchids of the Colombian cloud forests bear blooms with an unsettling resemblance to tiny simian faces, complete with distinct eyes, noses, and expressive mouths. The Darlingtonia cobra lilies of North America rise from boggy soils like hooded serpents ready to strike. The psychedelic patterns of the Psychotria alata, the hot lips plant, form perfect crimson pouts that seem poised to speak secrets from the depths of Central American rainforests. perhaps most perplexing of all are plants that move with purpose, challenging our very definition of planthood. The telegraph plant, Codariocolix motorius, features small leaflets that rotate in elliptical patterns throughout the day, a movement so deliberate and regular that it appears mechanical rather than biological. The sensitive plant, Mimosa pudica, recoils dramatically from touch, its leaflets folding and branches drooping in an instant response that feels more animal than plant. This rapid movement occurs through changes in cellular water pressure and represents one of the most visible examples of plant responsiveness to external stimuli. Some botanical wonders come wrapped in danger. The manchineel tree of Central America and the Caribbean is considered the most dangerous tree in the world. Every part toxic, its fruits deceptively sweet, but causing such violent internal reactions that indigenous peoples called it the little apple of death. The Gympie tree of Australia conceals among its ordinary-looking leaves a neurotoxin so potent that its sting has driven people to suicide, with pain that can persist for months or years. The tree is so feared that it exists in isolation, as few animals dare to touch it, and botanical gardens must keep their specimens behind cages, not to protect visitors from the plant, but to protect the plant from visitors testing its legendary toxicity. Engineers and designers increasingly turn to these botanical enigmas for inspiration. The maple seed's auto-rotation has influenced helicopter design. The self-cleaning properties of the lotus leaf have inspired hydrophobic materials. The structural efficiency of giant Amazon water lilies, which can support the weight of a child on a single pad, has informed architectural principles. These weird plants represent not evolutionary oddities, but rather evolutionary triumphs solutions to environmental challenges so elegant that they appear to us as magic, as inexplicable wonders that defy categorization. As our journey through this botanical cabinet of curiosities comes to a close, we are left with more questions than answers. What intelligence directs the Venus flytrap to count stimulus touches before snapping shut? What botanical consciousness guides the dancing leaflets of the telegraph plant? What evolutionary pathways led to flowers that mimic female insects with such precision that they fool even the males of those species? The truth is both humbling and awe-inspiring. Plants have existed on Earth far longer than humans, have weathered extinctions that wiped out the dinosaurs, have adapted to every environment from scalding hot springs to Antarctic shores. Their apparent weirdness is perhaps nothing more than our failure to comprehend the true diversity of strategies that life can employ. As we face unprecedented environmental challenges, these botanical wonders remind us that the solutions to survival may already exist in the quiet innovation of Earth's green kingdom. The weird and wonderful plants that have captivated us today are not mere curiosities. They are living libraries of adaptation, windows into evolutionary pathways we have only begun to understand. I encourage you to look more closely at the plants around you. Behind their silent facade may lurk mysteries as profound as any we've explored today, botanical enigmas waiting to be discovered, to be understood, to be preserved before they vanish into the shadows of extinction. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the botanical twilight zone. Until next time, may you walk through the world with eyes open to the extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Music fades.